Joining us now, the film's director and producer, Charlie Sadoff, writer and executive producer, Sebastian Junger, and writer and producer, Ken Harbaugh. Thank you all for being here this morning. Ken, the footage of January 6th is interspliced throughout this documentary, powerfully so. Talk to us about this phenomenon. What has caused it?
The reason so many veterans, and it's not most veterans, I think that has to be said, but it's too many.
Of course.
And they're drawn to these extremist groups like the Oath Keepers and Proud Boys, in large part out of a sense of loss and needing to replace that with a community and a mission, because when you take off the uniform, that need for mission and camaraderie doesn't go away. And these groups do a really good job at recreating that. And I think it's incumbent upon us to find other avenues for them to channel that desire to be part of something bigger than themselves. The problem is these groups channel that desire to undermining democracy. It's Ken Harbaugh on the MeidasTouch Network. I have something really great to share with all of you. Apple TV's #1 feature documentary, Against All Enemies, which I co-produced with Sebastian Junger and Ben Meiselas, is coming to the MeidasTouch Network. Many of you have seen it already. Thank you for making it such a huge hit. Now this entire MeidasTouch audience can see it for free without commercials for a limited time. A huge shout out to the sponsors who made this possible: Veterans for Responsible Leadership and Veterans Fighting Fascism. If you want to support their work, the links are in the notes below. Against All Enemies will premiere ad-free for a limited time right here on the MeidasTouch Network starting August 5th. Mark your calendars, spread the word. If ever we needed to understand the threats posed by violent extremism and election denialism, it's now. Thanks for all the support. Here's the trailer for the MeidasTouch Network premiere of Against All Enemies.
3, 2, 1, go.
There are places in our military where we are trained to start and fuel insurgencies.
That's the same kind of they've been doing their whole career. Now they're doing it here inside the United States.
Anybody who says that this can't happen in a worse way, either they're ignorant or they're part of the problem.
Today, domestic terrorism is the greatest terrorist threat facing the United States.
The CIA has this tool where they measure levels of insurgency, and if you just apply the tool to the US, we are in an incipient insurgency.
Do you want your house back? Take it!
How did I end up on one side of that door, and my fellow veterans, how did they end up on the other side of that door?
If you believe the country's under attack, you have a certain set of skills, you're a force multiplier.
They're coming.
It's going to end up the people versus the government.
If you're armed, then you're prepared to defend your family. And if you're not armed, you're dog meat.
When you can convince people that their leaders are not valid, then you give them the excuse to overthrow that leadership.
And that's not new. The issue is that the people that we are identifying as extremists, they're identifying as patriots or freedom fighters. It almost sounds like I'm talking about terrorism right now.
Everyone becomes more violent in the aftermath of warfare. What we don't know is what happens when we're talking about a 20-year war.
I hope that people are scared, because being scared motivates people.
This is how countries fall apart.
Oh my God!
I could see a civil war.
And this fight, it's far from over, and it may never be over.
I,
Stanley
Lisa Fon,
do solemnly
I will
swear
The
support and defend
Constitution of the United
States
States.
Against all enemies.
Foreign and domestic.
So help me God.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.